think finally the network has permitted me to come online to do my debrief of my last speaker, the Leap and Shine conference. I've been trying to get it to work for quite a while. The network has been patchy in my house. I'm not sure why, but now it looks like it's allowed me to come on to do this. And this is my session where I try to be accountable to you. I come to you to give you, like, snippets, nuggets of what each of my speakers has spoken about at the Leap and Shine conference. So guys, as you probably heard me rejoicing and celebrating myself in my live video from yesterday, the Leap and Shine online tele summit has come and gone, 20th to the 26th of November 2016, 7 days of hearing from the world's most coveted speakers from the UK, from the US, from Singapore, from Poland, from Jamaica. It was a really, really interesting 7 days, time well spent, as those who attended will tell you. And just a quick reminder that the full audio pack is available, is available at leapandshineconference.com/shop. That's leapandshineconference.com/shop. That's where you'll find the full audio pack, and it's recommended that you get that and listen to each of the speakers' contributions over and over again, because that's where change comes, is when you listen over and over again and you take notes for implementation. That's when change happens. Now, purpose of this live video is just to give you a debrief of my final speaker, the amazing Dr. Ava Eagle Brown. She didn't disappoint at all. Now, before I start, to give you a brief, hi Audrey, thanks for dropping by. Before I start to give you a brief debrief of what she spoke about, I'm just going to quickly give you a summary of who she is for those who don't know her. Ava Eagle Brown is a multi-award winning international speaker. She's an author, she's a transformation mindset coach, and she's the author of her memoir, which is called The Mango Girl, and that Mango Girl is soon to be released into a feature film. And she herself has been featured in various press, such as the Financial Times and I believe the Guardian as well. Now, she has survived and moved on from, things like really traumatic experiences that would stop, average people, if you like, in their tracks, such as incest, rape, 2 failed marriages, and being homeless. She's now become something of a global, a household name globally. She's shared the stage with the likes of Eric Thomas, Lisa Nichols, Nick Vujicic, Andrew Harrington, Paul O'Mahony, Darren Winters, Shah Wasmond, Mark Atram, Rina Mala, and a few other people like that. Now, Ava has been featured in the Financial Times and the Guardian, as I said, just to mention a few of the press where she's been featured. And a lot of people now want to hear from her. People are actually calling her UK's answer to Oprah Winfrey and Lisa Nichols. Now, out of her journey, out of her experiences, she has created Awakening Your Life's Purpose, which is a course, Purpose Walk, and also Get Your Book Out of Your Gut. She specializes in doing just that, get your book out of your gut. These are programs that she uses to help people in various different ways. And she really is passionate about seeing people maximize their truest potentials and claim their best life. So she has helped several individuals, several people rewrite their stories in less than a year. And I put up my hand. I'm one of those people because I coached with Ava. She's my coach, and I coached with her to give birth to my book, Prison Break, the 9-to-5 Escape Agenda, Taking the Leap from Limitation into Liberation. That book was written in precisely 64 days. This is after at least a decade of procrastinating, of not just being able to get myself to the space where I could sit down, because I have a full plate, not being able to get myself to the space, get myself out of the rut and get myself to the space where I could sit down and write a book. Now, when I did write this book, not only did I write it, but I wrote it in record time. Well, shorter than record time, really, because I even surprised her in the fact that the book was done and dusted, and we stood on stage launching the book in exactly 64 days. So what can I say? I didn't know that I had that in me, but hey, she helped me get there. So that's amazing. Now she believes that the word impossible means I am possible. So she's about helping people to claim the lives that they were meant to live, which is, as far as she's concerned, everyone is meant to be living a life of abundance, a life of joy, a life of peace, and a life of success. And her desire, her passion is to see others come out of their rut and claim their best lives. So she was with me, being the final speaker on day 7 of the Leap and Shine conference, and she didn't disappoint. She shared with us, basically she shared with us about how you can use your story to change your life and to come out of, to rewrite your rhetoric basically, and to come out of your prison. And there were a few questions asked by those who were in the room, the listeners that tuned in and attended and all of that, and she answered those as well. Now you've heard the citation, so quickly, just to give you snippets, because it's all about, I might not do her justice. She said quite a lot. And this is exactly why you need to get the audio, the full audio pack, where you will listen to what she said firsthand, not just what she said, but what all the other 12 or 13 speakers said before her. She came on the final day. But this is what basically she said. Part of her story, she says, part of who she is important for her to mention that, is that she's a mother of 2 amazing children, and that her children are her why. They're the reason she wakes up every day and every morning. They're the reason she is doing what she's doing. The reason she is hustling to give them a legacy, to teach them how to become entrepreneurs in their own right, and to give them the right mindset, to equip them with the right mindset as they go into life. And that's part of who she is. Now, her press team hadn't put that into her bio, and she said, that's absolutely important. I don't know what they're doing. Why didn't they put that in? Because this is a big part of who I am. The fact that I'm a mom, the fact that I have 2 amazing children. And really, if you are following Dr. Ava Eagle Brown and you watch her videos, you will tend to see her children featuring in one way or the other. She's a single mom, but she's holding it together. So basically, I asked her to define for us, this fun exercise I'm doing with all the speakers. I asked her to define for us the word shine leap, or to tell us in her own words what it means to take a shine leap. And this is how she described it. The shine leap means taking a leap into the shine zone and finding your shine in that process. She says, when you get to that place, when you understand what your true calling is, that means that you have taken your shine leap. When you get to that point, that place, that juncture in your life, when you understand what your true calling is, that means that you have taken a shine leap. You become radical. You decide that yes, you are going to execute, because what we find is, for many of us, we have read the books, we have we've watched The Secret many times, we've read perhaps Jack Canfield's, Success Principles 1,001 times, Rich Dad, Poor Dad. We've read the whole library of motivational books. We've attended several seminars designed to inspire, motivate, and push us into our best lives. Some of us, though, are still caught in our rut. What's the reason? It is because we have not yet become radical. We've not yet decided to execute that which we've been hearing, what we've been reading. So we can tell you the 7 steps to success, the 3 ways to do this, the 10 ways to do that, but we're not really internalizing what we're hearing and moving forward with it and implementing it. And she says you need to recognize your season to move. I recognized my season to move on the day when, okay guys, my battery is low, so I'm going to have to connect this to power source, or I will lose you guys. If you give me just 1 minute, hopefully that works. And now I have to hold it because so you need to recognize, sorry guys, that's what happened to me. I recognized my season to shift in May when I met up with my coach, and I decided it is now. I need to move now. I need to change the rhetoric, and I need to move forward with my life, regardless of the responsibilities, the many hats that I wear, the busy corporate job. It just was not allowing me live on purpose, and I needed to change that. So I took that decision and I changed my story. I changed my rhetoric, as will be hopefully apparent to many people who have been following me or many people who know me or are close to me. So she says you need to recognize your season. You need to work towards that light. And as you work towards that light and it is clear to you what you need to do to to connect with your next best version, then you have taken a shine leap. So speaking about, someone asked her a question, someone posed the question, how do you make sure, I think that was my question really, how do you make sure as an entrepreneur or as a service giver that you offer or give to your clients exactly what you promised? How do you make sure that what the book says on the cover is what is in the content? How do you make sure that what the bottle says on the label is what's inside of it? Because quite often you know when you have a service delivery business, you have a product or a service you're offering, the one thing you want to make sure, in addition to making sure that you have clients or interested buyers or customers constantly coming in through the funnel, is to make sure that you are also, when you send them out the other end of the funnel, every single person that passes through and leaves you is leaving satisfied. You have been able to deliver to them what you promised, and it is usually how they say, under promise and over deliver. So what you promise, not only are you able to deliver what you promise, but you leave the person in a state where they can only speak well of you. So when I asked this question, she said, one, you've got to have good selling skills. You've got to have also transferable skills that you can apply in this area. And the most important thing, she said, is to put yourself in your client's shoes as much as you can. This may not always be possible, but if that is your mindset, then you can't go too far wrong, putting yourself in your client's shoes. So if I have a client come to me wanting this, that, or the other, I'm putting myself in the client's shoes to say, if I was paying for this service, what would I expect? How would I expect the service to be delivered to me? What little trappings or frills or extras might I expect, or might I Oh, great, brilliant. Hey, free ticket to see Jack Canfield in Jan. Absolutely brilliant. Guys, you're on here. If you want to grab it, say something now. Oh, okay. All right. Say hello to Lisa. Right. So guys, that is this is Dr. Ava's message I was reading. She says that she has a free ticket to see Jack Canfield in Jan. So yes, so that's it. And these are the things you need to be looking at. And she says one of the things that makes her the coach that she is today is because she herself has had two coaches that perhaps didn't give her everything that she wanted or expected, and she didn't want to be that kind of coach. She wanted to change the rhetoric. She wanted to make sure that every single person, every single client that she caters to, that she serves, leaves satisfied. And another question was posed: if you have the desire to invest in yourself, but your funds are limited, what would you advise? What would you do? And she says, first of all, think about the what. Think about what it is you want, what you want to do first. Don't start from the perspective of the how. Think about what it is you want. So you're in a rut, acknowledge that. Then think, how do I need to get out of the rut? If your answer is yes, or well and good, then how do I need to get out of the rut? What do I need to do? Who do I need to work with? Who do I need to access their skills or their coaching to get out of the rut? When you identify that person, she says, think about the what first and the rest will follow. Go to that coach when you identify them, go to them in faith and ask what the cost is, because a lot of us just sit there and assume, oh, I can't afford him, oh, I can't afford her. You are really not giving yourself the chance that you deserve, because you haven't even approached that person conversation about what may be comfortable for you. You may just be surprised what you get back, and they may say to you, yes, a payment plan, this is my payment plan that I offer clients who can pay up front, and you tell them that's still too much for me, can I have this? You speak up, you are bold, you state what you want, and then somehow it comes to be. But if you're not speaking and you're just assuming on your dream or on yourself, even before you have that, you can blame for that. She says, once you know what the payment plan is, sometimes she says you may need to consider some certain cutbacks that you need to make in order to sacrifice. That's just simply sacrificing in the now so that the future can be better, so you can create and craft the future that you deserve. Now you need to minimalize on your expenses in order to save money to focus on this bigger dream, on this legacy that you want to build. Now, it's amazing. It is amazing the kind of things that some of us spend on. I don't care if I don't buy a brand new shoe in 6 months or a brand new dress or whatever. I actually do shopping as I need it. It has to be a need. If there isn't a need, I'm not just going out to buy things for the fun of it. Now, for us women in particular, there's a zillion and one things to spend on. And you would be surprised how many people would spend a huge amount on Brazilian weave-on or Brazilian hair, just as a random example. I can't think of any other example now. The kind of things we pay attention to, the kind of things we give our finances to. Yet when it comes to that thing that has the potential to change your life and change your rhetoric and build a legacy that not only you but your family, your children will benefit from, it is amazing how we relegate it to the background. It's just not that important. I will do it maybe someday. I've heard that several times. I will do it someday. I'll think about it someday. I'm not really looking to work with a coach right now. I'm not really looking to work with a coach to just yet, but I will give it some thought in the future. That's fine. But the future is only the next minute me and you sit on this call is already the future right in our faces. And in the next couple of days, 2016 will be gone, 2017 will be there, and you haven't made any plans, you haven't pre-planned, you haven't been intentional or deliberate or unapologetic about making the change that you say you want. The future is the next second. This is what I'm trying to bring home. The future is the next minute, and by the time I finish this call, the future, a part of the future would already have become the present and even the past. So if that makes any sense, I'm trying to be philosophical here. Hopefully it makes some sense. But hey, this is what I'm saying. People tend to relegate. So it's all about what matters to you. If looking good, having the right kind of hair, having your nails done, having going out, every Friday with your mates and going to the sauna or the spa or whatever it is your thing, then all well and good. Then don't begrudge other people their if you like, their success when they move forward, because they have decided that maybe some other thing is more important to them. Investing in themselves is more important to them. As I say, to me, coaching is not something that anybody needs to hard sell. If somebody needs coaching, they will reach out for it. They will look for their ideal coach and they will make contact and they will, have the conversation and they will move on. You have to be in that place of intentionality, that place where you know that you need to change your rhetoric. It's not anything you need to hard sell to anybody at all. It says, cutbacks, consider the cutbacks that you can make now. Consider the minimalization that you can do now in order to have more money, extra money that you can start putting away in order to finance your dream. And I absolutely agree with that. Now, how do you use your story to escape the prison? She says that, never underestimate the power of a story. To begin with, everybody has a story. And I always say that our stories are not for us. Our stories are meant to change the world. Our stories are meant to impact someone else. Our experiences are not for us. When we experience something, God allows us to experience something. It is so that with that experience or that knowledge, we can reach out. Having overcome those situations, hopefully we can then now reach out and hold somebody's hand and see them through their own journey. That's what I absolutely believe. That's why we have, that's why, I like to say we are blessed that we may be a blessing. So I think that's the way God intended it. That's the way nature intends it. That's why as human beings, we are social animals. We are relational, which means I cannot exist in a pod all by myself, like a pea in a pod or but no man is an island. Every experience, every story is meant to inform someone else and cancel someone else. Your story now does not mean that you have to necessarily write a story. So when we speak about using your story to guys, I've been waiting patiently because I didn't want to lose this video and have to start all over again. The future never comes. That's so true. Shalom. Hi, good to see you. The future never comes. That's true. The future never comes. That's the lie of procrastination, isn't it? Your future never comes. You keep pushing it forward. There's always a future, if you see what I mean. So basically, It doesn't necessarily mean that your story means you have to write a book, but you can use your story to change lives. You can use your story and your experiences, even without writing a book, to change people's lives. Now, your story is part of your story will be your skill, your talent, your experiences, your education, is your total package, really. That's what your story is, and you can use it to build a platform. And